to Convergence 2015. You know, planning a meeting like this, it takes a lot of work. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. Normally I really dread it. But for some reason, this year was different. There's been an energy, and it's been there from the very beginning, an excitement. And it's still here now. Do you feel it? And I'll tell you, it really started with the theme that you just heard. The theme of the meeting, normally, it's several conference calls, a lot of different meetings, because we want to get the theme right, because it's kind of our mantra for the year. Well, this year, 20 minutes into the first meeting, bang, we had it. Collaborate, succeed. Now, clearly, customer behavior and their expectations are changing significantly. New categories of customer requirements are emerging every day. Mobility, the cloud, social media, and of course, changing generations. Well, more than ever, our focus is to work closely with our dealers, to listen and respond with the support and the resources that it's going to take for you to take advantage of these changes. Because let's face it, these are opportunities. These are opportunities for you to dominate your local market if we collaborate. Right? Collaborate, succeed. Now truly, everyone at Ricoh feels the momentum of the dealer business. And working together is going to be our competitive advantage. So here's what we're going to do this morning. We have a relatively short general session, right? So for those of you that went to the back to take a nap, you don't have to worry about it. We're not going to take that nap. But I'm going to provide you with a State of the Union, excuse me. And that State of the Union is going to be focused on the progress that we're making together. But most importantly, we're going to be talking about where we're going. I'll explain how Convergence 2015 will deliver the exciting plans for this upcoming year. Martin Bronigan will say a few words, then Dave Green and I will join him on stage, and we'll respond to the questions that you as a group most wanted answered. From there, it's off to the seminars and the Technology Expo. That's where we're going to share with you the building blocks for our success together at the customer level. And backed by popular demand, we have the region networking sessions for our dealer principals. And then we close the day with a drink or two at the Expo cocktail party. Sound okay? I don't know if you're clapping for the day or the cocktails. Now, for those of you that have been with us in Las Vegas the past few years, you've heard some pretty consistent messages from Martin, Dave, and me. We want to be the #1 dealer provider in the industry. We are committed to investing in the growth of our dealer business. And we'll continue to work with you on action-oriented business plans. And we're going to do that together. So, how are we doing on these commitments? I can't answer that. Only you can. What I can do is share some results. Now, do you remember this slide? It shows the dealer percentage of total Ricoh US units. Well, thanks to your efforts in 2004, calendar year 2004, the dealer business now accounts for over 37% of our total business. Thank you and congratulations. And Dave made it pretty clear that our short-term goal is 40%. So we need to keep this momentum going. Now, actually, we have a few other numbers that look pretty strong. The dealer business saw another outstanding year of growth this past year. Overall, A3 MFPs grew by 16%. Of that, hang on, it gets better. Of that, 20% was color. A 20% increase. That's crazy growth for a manufacturer. Now, certainly production is a major growth opportunity for our dealers. Well, in 2014, you increased your purchase of production color units by 19%. And that's after huge growth the year before. That performance helped to impact the industry. For the first time ever, Ricoh was the #1 color production manufacturer, surpassing Xerox by more than 20. We have 25% market share. But you know what? The most exciting part is the opportunity you have in production going forward. Now, Tom Frederick is the president of Zeno in Texas, and he was willing to share his thoughts on Ricoh production print.
Production print for us is probably our biggest initiative for 2015. And we actually have gotten some of the best people in the industry, particularly from Xerox, that have sought us out for the sole reason that we carry Ricoh. What Ricoh has done in the production print arena, the products they come out with, is going to revolutionize this business.
Thank you, Tom. And thanks to all of you who have seized the opportunity to make Ricoh production a part of your growth. Next, what's going on with Champs? Well, the answer is a lot. The number of engagements that dealers have registered through the Champs portal has gone through the roof. We have almost 1 new registration per hour. Oh, there's another one. The past 3 months, the new proposals just for digital imaging and document process proposals were over $3.5 million. Now think back. A few years ago, we talked about Champs as an interesting concept. From there, it became a pretty compelling PowerPoint presentation, right? Well, today, for many of our dealers of all different sizes, it's become a tangible and powerful way to deliver services led to your customers and prospects. So again, let's hear from a few of our dealers on what Champs means to their business.
Customers want more than just to have their copier fixed. They want you to learn about their dilemmas in their workflow processes and how we can help them with solutions, not just hardware.
Champs, I think, just gives you more, it gives you more support, more tools in your toolbox that allow you to bring in like an expertise in a certain area that you wouldn't normally have on staff.
We're a medium-sized dealer, and we have lots of resources, we have lots of great people, but there is a limit to what we're able to offer. Champs lets us extend our capabilities and our offering to our customers, and eliminates our fear of getting involved in something that may be outside the scope of what we're comfortable with.
With the Champs people, they come in and help us be able to uncover and find challenges that may create more opportunity for us to put a solution together.
We go in together as a team. I introduce Champs as my specialist, as a resource that I use from my manufacturer, which is Ricoh.
Think of Champs as an augmentation. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking at an opportunity and it's very large and it seems complex, engage.
Now, as you can see, Champs is collaboration. Now, a moment ago, I mentioned some numbers. Where do these numbers come from? They come from your results, your ability to serve your customers and grow your business. With that, we need to recognize some very substantial milestones. When a dealership reaches $100 million in total sales, that's a monumental accomplishment. Well, one dealer in that select company is R.J. Young. Chip Crunk has driven the company to that milestone since our last meeting, so this is the first chance we get to recognize it in public. So Chip and everyone at R.J. Young, congratulations. Chip, as you know, your mom and dad were on the Danube trip this past year. And in addition to being one of the pioneers in our industry, John Crunk is also a great dancer. He had women lining up every night. So I guess that's all part of being, that's the charisma you need to get to 100 million. Next is Atlantic Business. Larry Weiss has established a hardworking, no-nonsense culture that's resulted in consistent growth in some of the toughest markets in the U.S. Well, this past fiscal year, Larry led his company to that $100 million plateau. And you know what? At least 8 million of that revenue was in IT services. Very impressive. Congratulations. Larry is truly one of the influencers in our industry. At least that's what he tells me. But really, at Ricoh, we're very fortunate to have an amazing network of strong dealers. Now, many of you have a presence in your local market that started decades ago. This past year, WPS out of Hagerstown, Maryland, marked 40 years in business. The Della Postas are a second-generation leadership team, and they've been busy this past year expanding into Pittsburgh with a great acquisition that they did. At the same time, they grew their staffing business by 32%. So we thank Deb and the rest of the WPS family. Thank you. Another milestone this year was TGI, celebrating 50 years in business. Frank Grasso's dad, working with a partner in Brooklyn, $500 each. That's how it all started. TGI is now a $75 million a year dealership with tremendous growth this past few years. Frank's been an RFG dealer for about 20 years, and he's the largest linear dealer in the U.S. So Frank, thank you for your leadership and congratulations. Now, Ricoh also has a contingent of dedicated dealers that cannot be matched by anyone in the industry. On the screen, you can see the top 100 sole line A3 MFP dealers in the Ricoh family group. They are among the finest, fastest growing dealers in the industry. Look at some of these names. MT Business Technologies, Metro Sales, Gulf Coast, Stanley's, Woodhull, Duplicator Sales, Officius, Stratix, Rabbit, ASI. These are companies that have put their trust in Ricoh as a sole MFP provider, and they've driven their companies to outstanding success. We're committed to work harder than ever to provide you with an advantage and have you continue to realize the benefits of being a dedicated dealer. Now, we talk about collaboration. That's really all about open communication and listening. One way we listen to our dealers is through the National Dealer Council. The 12 members of the NDC take time out of their busy schedules to help us on a number of different levels. They help us identify opportunities for us to improve. They help us to prioritize whatever actions we're going to look to take. And they certainly monitor our progress. Now, the NDC members have been in Vegas since Sunday for a series of different meetings. They interact with 10 of the top business leaders at Ricoh, and they're sitting over here, and none of them are particularly shy. But you'll see evidence of their work in several areas over the next couple of days. The list you see outlines some of the list you'll see in a second outlines some of the actions that were initiated during our recent discussions. Because of the NDC, we're now tracking order fulfillment with metrics from a dealer perspective. We now have a parts task force to improve spare parts delivery. We've enhanced and expanded the product configurator. We can continue to add new simplified solutions. One that I'm very excited about, we're bringing you major enhancements to our digital marketing. And we added new elements to the Champs portal to confirm quick response and to confirm your satisfaction. Additionally, you'll see what we're calling a new landing page today. You got to get to the expo and the seminar for Buyer 2.0 to see that. There's videos that are being developed for FY15. We're looking for ways to get you more leads. And we're refining the focus and the responsibility of our field support team. Now, this is a great example of collaboration. But that's not enough. We need to include your voice, the voice of our entire dealer network. That's what the Talk NDC Forum is all about. We get a lot of great input from you, and we share it with the NDC. So thank you for your input. It really goes a long way. Now, how many of you know the NDC members from your region? Well, if you don't, you're going to meet them right now. Okay, so this is where I'm like Jimmy Fallon, right? Except I can't sing, and I can't stand any New England sports team. So I'm a little bit different. So what we're going to ask now, if our Eastern region folks would stand up. We have Adam Weiss, Donna Buell, and Tim Cusick. So Adam, how do you feel about Boston sports? I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that.
What I wanted to say would have to be sensitive.
Okay, thank you. I agree with that answer. But you're finishing up 3 years on the NDC. How was your experience?
It feels like 6. You know, it was a great experience, and frankly, I think the most surprising thing to me was the openness of the dialogue that we have at these meetings, which to me shows that Ricoh does really listen, and they're certainly trying to make the best improvements they can. We don't get what we want every single time, clearly, but one of the things that came out of it is talk to the NDC. We've had over 100 submissions, and it's just a great forum. It's a great voice for everybody. I think that you'll see at the networking sessions at the end of the day today, the action items that have come of it, and you can make your own choice.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Hub. Okay, so now the South region. What do we got? Chip Crump, Jeff Elkin, and Robbie Seaman. So Chip, you're a spokesperson?
Unfortunately.
All right. So, what do you want people to know about what the NDC does?
Well, as a longtime Ricoh dealer, you know, we were one of the first in the country to take on, or in the U.S. to take on the Ricoh product line. This is my second term on the NDC. And it takes a total different flavor now than it did the first time I did. And when I think about what's happened in the last 5 years, it really, to me, channel conflict is first and foremost that comes to my mind. And I've seen firsthand how Ricoh has really controlled that channel conflict and making sure that the dealers are protected and doing the right thing by the dealer community and not let the direct take over. And frankly, that's the reason our business has doubled with Ricoh over the last 5 years, is the way they handle that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, the Midwest. Jeff Longton, Pat Phillips, and Mary Jo Johnson. Now, Joel, you've also been on the NDC for 3 years. From your perspective, what's changed in that time?
Well, it's been significant changes. I know when I came on 3 years ago, excuse me, the project list that you saw on the board a couple of minutes ago was significantly different. We've had the evolution of the service and the administration councils, and the evolution of the NDC board member has grown dramatically. It's taken on a role, as many of you have been on boards of directors, almost an advisory board role. And I congratulate Martin, you, and Dave Green on facilitating the culture and the actions that are necessary for this evolution to occur. And it has occurred, so I highly encourage you to contact these people, talk to them, and utilize it.
Great. Now, you knew you were going to be on camera, right? That shirt? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. West Region, come on up. John Cheney, Doug Patassi, and Carol Mitchke is also on the NDC. She actually had a conference call at 9 o'clock. She's working on a big Ricoh deal, so we said, don't worry about it, these guys can handle it. By the way, if you've got a deal, you could go.
Is that Denver?
No. All right, now we're going to go a little bit different with John. John, this is your first year on the NDC. So what's your perspective as a new member?
Well, right now I'd like to be on the conference call with Carol on that big deal. But no, one of the things that surprised me after the last day and a half meeting with Ricoh was just the openness and the willingness for them to listen to the dealers. That was one of my, I was expecting a little more gnashing of teeth, I guess, more conflict. And there really does seem to be this, I'll use it, collaboration that's going on between dealers and Ricoh. Yeah, all right, I will. So that was one of the things that really impressed me. There's a great peer group on this NDC council, some people that are really respected in the industry for what they do. And we're your voice to Ricoh, so what I'd encourage all dealers to do is to continue to use the Talk NDC and to reach out to us individually if you like, and let's just make sure that we're getting the dealer's message to Ricoh timely. So.
Great, thank you very much. So how about a hand for the NDC? Good job. This group reminds us of that consistently. We know we do have work to do in specific areas, and we rely on them to help us prioritize our actions. And as John said, we need your input at the same time. So please utilize the Talk NDC. Because here's the thing. For those of you that do not think we're the #1 dealer provider, we will be the #1 dealer provider. We need to be your most valuable business partner. And those business partnerships, they take long to develop. So let me ask everyone a quick question. What percentage of dealers do you think have been Ricoh family dealers for more than 20 years? Tell me a percentage, just call it out.
74.
74. 50. One more guess. 64. Who said 74? Come on up here.